Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Yoga with Anna, here flowing slowly at PCS&M, our People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, where we believe in community and coming together through the sacrament of music and plant medicine to support those who need it and to create the village around us to support one another. So we are back. I am back, and I'm happy to be back. I miss you, Sandy, and I miss the regular vibe that we have here, the flows of the ins and outs and stuff that happen during season through the year. It begins to slow down in summer, being that the sun is out and everybody wants to be out. So I commend you for showing up today for yourselves, because it is important to do so. We can always do yoga outside, yoga inside, or yoga in the workplace. So yoga is always there for you. I always say, if you leave yoga, or you leave mostly any exercise behind, but yoga especially, when you do come back, it's like returning to an old friend. You pick up where you leave off. Never turns its back on you, and your body has an amazing wisdom and memory to remember the movements within your own body. And that's pretty much why we're here, to bring in and unify and harmonize the body's layers. So we often talk about different things. One of the things that I really like to focus on is the nervous system, which is the physical body. That is one of the first layers that we encounter when we come into this practice, is our physical body. Usually people come to this practice because they don't feel good in their own bodies and they want to feel better, which is a great place to start with you, is moving your body and stretching your body out. The second layer is your emotional body. And I'll just talk about the first three layers. I usually talk about 5 in total, which I will rattle off. Physical body, emotional mind body, breath body, wisdom body, bliss body. Those are the koshas in yoga, and they're like an onion. So we first begin with the physical body, which is the toughest layer to get through. We usually live in the first 3 layers of the koshas, and usually most people live in these layers separately. So either you're working on your physical body and it's physical, you're not really connecting the emotions to your physical body, and then the breath body separately. When we live in these layers separately, we can experience anxiety, depression, and things that don't feel good in the body, because if you don't feel good in your body, that affects the emotions, that also affects your breath. So in this practice, my aim is to unify all the layers. When those first 3 layers begin to work together and unify, then you begin to develop your wisdom body. Your wisdom body is your body and all it knows about you. It's like your higher self. And when you begin to get in touch with that layer, it's that you're already beginning to listen to what your body's saying. Your intuition, your gut feeling, how your body's feeling, parts of the body, because you're so connected that your big toe can speak to you. So really down to just being very, very connected to your body and knowing when it doesn't feel good, knowing when it's telling you that it doesn't feel good, and when it's telling you that, knowing when to slow down. Sometimes, a lot of the times, we're moving forward, and not listening to our wisdom bodies, and that's when we get sick. Or the universe puts a halt to wherever you are, and you come down hard. So that's an extreme example, but a good example, because I think that we all experience that. So in the summer, it can feel like that. It can feel like we're going. But then it also can feel like we're slowing down to the point where you're like, oh, I think I need to get back into a little bit more of a routine. So here we are, back in our routine, and we're going to begin. So find your comfortable seat and come slow flow with me as we begin to move our bodies and slow ourselves down, slow our breath down. So I'm going to invite you to sit up nice and tall wherever you are, or you can be lying down to access your breath. And not that you're not breathing already, but it's more of bringing the awareness to your breath. So whether you're seated, whether you're lying down, or seated on a mat or a chair, begin to soften the body wherever you are and bring the awareness to your breath. Begin to feel the ebb and flow through the nose. And I invite you to soften the gaze or close your eyes. As we begin to switch the awareness to the breath, I invite you to expand your awareness to your body through your breath. Nice deep breaths in as you begin to deepen the breath. And slow down your exhale to the length of your inhale. Here, we're breaking it down and keeping it simple. If your busy mind is trying to distract you, come back to your breath. Your breath is what keeps you grounded and focused. I invite you to begin to scan your body wherever you are, just noticing what your body may be saying to you. From your toes, through the legs, through the body, your heart center. Maybe you feel emotions coming up, and that's okay. And remember, it's okay to not be okay. If it feels good to sit here for the rest of the hour, that's okay too. This is a come as you are practice. Where you find your breath, and that's yoga too. So maybe your body is telling you that it's feeling a little ache somewhere, a little tightness somewhere. Maybe your mind is speaking a little loudly. Begin to deepen the breath, acknowledging that that's happening and that you're still okay. Inviting you to bring your hands at the heart center. Let's set our intention for our practice today. Remembering that through the exhale, you can release what isn't serving you so that you can invite in with your in-breath the intention that you want to live. the intention that you want to feel. And if your eyes are closed, and then if you're in a lying down position, you can rock back up to seated when you're ready. A nice deep breath in. Let's extend the arms up. Exhale, press everything away. Inhale, notice my inhale is the length of my movement. Exhale, bring the hands to heart. Bring that energy in. Inhale, arms rise. Lengthen, reach up, and exhale. Press everything away. Extend the fingertips down to the earth. Lengthen through the crown, draw the shoulders down. Feel those scapulas slightly shift closer together. From here, hands at the lap, a little shift left and right. And begin the movement with the body as we circle in any direction that feels good to you. And you can bring in some shoulder movement if that feels good. Just moving the joints. And then gently coming back to center. From here, let's bring the soles of the feet together. And you're welcome to either keep your legs crossed and you can keep them supported with a block or a blanket around the legs. Just a little notice here that I don't always cross my legs like in a normal Sukhasana or happy easy pose. I usually like to bring my legs just to kind of layer over each other, and sometimes sitting on a block helps that. So if this position or cross-legged feels more comfortable to you, then you can stay there, or you can bring the soles of the feet together. From here, gently wrap the hands around the feet, or keep the hands at the legs or the shins or on your lap. And lengthen through the crown on the in-breath. Wherever you are, if you can bring a little flutter to the legs, inviting that flutter. And then from here, gently lengthening through the crown, I'm going to hinge at the hips. Keeping the elbows close to the body, keeping the length through the spine, and creating space between the vertebra as I lengthen and reach those sits bones towards the earth. Gently coming back up and releasing, maybe a little more of a flutter. And then gently release, assist the knees up. And then let's find our tabletop position. Let's align our shoulders with our wrists, our hips above our knees. Feet can be flat or toes can be curled in. Let's warm up the spine. On the inhale, gently lower the abdomen towards the earth, tilt the tail, and take the gaze up to the sky. If it doesn't feel good to round in, find your neutral spine. So here's neutral, and here's rounding into cat pose. Inhale as we move through neutral spine, extending and arching the spine. And then exhale gently, finding neutral, and then gently rounding in or just going straight into cat pose. Inhale, abdomen falls towards the earth, tail tilts. Extend the gaze to the sky. Exhale, chin moves towards the chest. A gentle tuck of the tail if you're rounding all the way in. Continue to flow with the breath and your movement. No rush, nowhere to go, but right here. Time for you. This is a moment of your self-care as you fill your cup so that you are ready to fill others and end the week strongly. Come back to neutral and let's do some circles with the hips, maybe swaying side to side first and then taking the hips into a rotation. I'm going to tickle in my nose. Allergies. But this practice, moving the body, has really helped even actually move the allergies through. So find yourself in both positions, in both directions, circling in one direction, then circling in the other, and then shifting side to side. From here, let's extend that right leg long, ground the toes, press through the heel, and then shift the weight forward to stack the shoulders over the wrists, bend the knee, flex the foot, and circle the hip. 3 to 5 circles each side, all up to you. Find your opposite position and direction. And then extend that leg long, ground the toes, press again into the heel, and bring that leg back. Shift side to side, and then come back to neutral table and extend that left leg out, toes point down, ground the toes, and press through the heel. We're just gazing at the top of the mat or between the hands or anywhere in between. Gently shift forward, lift that leg, bend the knee, flex the foot, and circle the hip. Take it in the opposite direction when you're ready. And then extend long, ground the toes, press through the heel, and bring that leg back. Find your neutral table, extend the hands forward, find your puppy pose. Shift the hips back, extending the arms, and gently lowering down. Option here to tent the fingers. Take a nice deep breath in as you tent the fingers and reach back. Nice deep breath. And from here, walk the hands back to your neutral table. All right, let's extend that right leg. Toes point down, coming into extended tabletop. So you can stay right here with the leg extended or use your breath one side to give your neck and shoulder a little bit of a stretch there. Shift the hips back towards the heels. And if you have turned your head to one side, turn it to the opposite side to even out. Again, feel the hips reach back, arms reach forward. Chin comes back to center. Bring the forehead back to center. And then let's walk over to the right side. Bring that left hand maybe to stack over the right. And getting into that left side body. One more breath here. And walk it back to center and then all the way left when you're ready. Maybe stacking that right palm on top of the left hand. Feel that right hip reach towards that right heel. And walk it back when you're ready. Take that bow. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. Knees come back to center and you're back in your table. Neutral spine, neutral table. All right, let's curl the toes under, come into our down dog. Lift the knees, lift the hips. Press the heart towards the thighs. And parallel the head to the arms. Gaze between the ankles without tucking the chin. You want to keep your head parallel to the arms or your ears close to your biceps as much as it feels good or feels comfortable. And press the heart towards the thighs. Begin to walk your dog to bring in some movement. So sometimes when we're in other parts of our body, we forget what the other part of the body's doing. So awareness to the entire body, just reminding ourselves a little body part at a time where our alignment is. And remember, little minor micro movements matter. So meaning if my heel is out, you're going to feel it, so you want to bring that heel in and align. From here, lift the heels high, bend the knees, switch the gaze between the hands and take a hover or bring the knees down. Press back to down dog. Nice deep breaths. Maybe hawing it out on the exhale. Lift the heels high, bend the knees deep, switch the gaze again, and walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat, forward. Let yourself release by letting your upper body feel heavy. Maybe taking the body elbow to elbow, or releasing the shoulders and releasing the arms, letting yourself, those arms dangle. If your hands are touching the mat or your fingers, you're welcome to take this stretch a little bit deeper by stepping on the fingers. And if you're going to step on the fingers and taking this deeply, just be mindful of lengthening the spine through the crown. So you're going to do a little hack lift here, pull the navel in. Elbows are going to tuck and reach towards the shins. And you're going to take that forward fold. Nice deep breaths. Release the bind if you've taken it. And we're going to gently roll up, vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way back up to standing. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Forward fold. Gentle roll all the way up. Now we're going to lengthen the breath. Lengthen the inhale. Press the palms together. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, gentle roll. Keep inhaling, keep inhaling, keep inhaling, keep inhaling. Palms touch, exhale. Forward fold. Let all the air out. Inhale, roll up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Even as you reach the arms up, palms touch, exhale. Release all the air on the exhale. Hands on the shins. On your next breath, to lengthen for your half lift. Pull the navel in, tilt the tail, lengthen through the crown. Nice deep breath in and exhale, plant those palms, step it back. Find your plank or modified plank, come all the way down to the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders. Option here to keep the feet together in cobra, or if it feels more comfortable to take them out a little wider, all up to you. I do like to zip up my legs usually. On the in-breath, press all 10 toes into the mat. Inhale, tuck the elbows, lift the heart, lift the chest up, gaze forward, chin parallel to the floor. Nice deep breath in and out. And gently come all the way back down. Curl the toes under, gently press up, and shift the hips back. Find your puppy pose. And then shift forward, come all the way down, shoulders underneath, hands underneath the shoulders, feet flat. Inhale, press 10 toes in, lift the chest, tuck the elbows. Second set cobra, and gently lower. So everyone's cobra is going to look different. So if you feel that you went this high and there's your cobra, that's okay. Even it's not how high you go, because eventually you build that flexibility in your spine to begin to lift as you press. So again, it isn't how high you go, it's just where your body goes as you use your breath to get into that same position. Eventually, with time, flexibility will become more available so that you can lift higher. So don't fret if you're saying you go too low, you're not doing it wrong. On the inhale, curl the toes under, find your puppy pose. And then we're going to come back to our cobra position, but this time we're going to slide the arms by our side. We're going to do some more back strengthening here. Bring the chin to center. We're going to do full locust by lifting everything off the floor. On the inhale, lift the body. Lift the arms, lift the legs, lift the chest. Breathe normally. Lift, lift, lift. Maybe one more lift, and then gently lower. Take that left cheek to the mat and give yourself a little grace. About 3 breaths of grace, and then come back to center. All right. This time, again, lifting everything off the floor. Nice deep breath in. Remember to breathe normally. Once you're in it, inhale. Everything lifts. Arms lift, legs lift. Breathing normal. And gently lower. Right cheek to the mat. 3 breaths of grace. On the 3rd breath, gently bring your hands underneath the shoulders, lifting yourself back up. Curl the toes under. Find your tabletop. and press into your down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, take a hover. Lower down, tuck the elbows, half push-up. So lower those knees down, gently push, do your half push-up, and find your down dog again. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and then lower the knees. Find your half push-up, tuck the elbows, and then lift yourself back up. So doing a little body weight lift there. There's our strength building. Bend the knees and switch the gaze between the hands to walk the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. Root to rise, come all the way up. Let your palms touch, palms come to heart. Tone the legs, lift the quads, stay nice and strong through the center body. Inhale, lift the arms up. And then we're going to separate the hands and take that right hand to the left wrist, lengthen and arch over. Switch sides. Inhale, lengthen and arch over. Gently come back to center. Bring the hands to heart and sit in your chair. So feet can be together, or for more stability, you can separate the feet. Shift the weight to the heels. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins to lengthen, half lift, and then root to rise, come all the way up. Find your chair. Arm position all depends on you. Shift the weight to the heels, gazing forward, focused forward. Use your breath here. Navel pulls in. Weight shifts. Ground those toes. Lift the chest. Maybe sit a little lower. Now remember, chair can look like this, or this, or this, or this. Hands come to heart and forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, lower down for another forward fold. And then from here, gentle roll up all the way up. Mountain pose. All right, so you're all at the top of the mat. Hands come to the heart. Let's step it back with that right foot and find your warrior two. Stack that front knee over the ankle. And from here, we're going to inhale the arms up and find your warrior two. Arms shoulder height, gazing towards those right fingertips. Tuck the navel. And feel this warrior two as you reach in opposite directions. Feel that energy through the fingertips, soft shoulders, navel's in. And then if it doesn't feel comfortable taking the chin towards the shoulder, you can gaze straight ahead. So it all depends if you have shoulder stuff, neck things going on, and this doesn't feel good. Find what feels good to you. We're going to come into a reverse warrior, gently flipping that right palm and reaching back. And then find your warrior two once again. Take a nice deep breath in. Find your side angle. So we're going to bend that right arm onto the right thigh and reach over with that left arm. Strong left foot. Strong back foot. And then come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. L side angle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, windmill the arms down. From here, gently step it back, drop the knees down, and come all the way down. Sweep up your chaturanga here. Curl the toes under and press into down dog. From here, bend the knees, switch the gaze, and we're going to walk the feet to meet the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and then root to rise. Come all the way up. Let your palms touch and palms into heart. All right, so I'm going to switch it so I don't give my back to the camera, because we did left leg back. So I'm going to do right leg back this way. All right, so my right leg is going to step it back to find the warrior two stance. Back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Toes, front toes point forward. Knee stacks over the ankle. So as you can tell, the energy is moving forward and back in this direction, right? But the hips aren't pointing in that direction. The hips are opening to the side. Okay? So if you find yourself kind of tilting, open up right there. Find your warrior two, soft shoulders, and inhale, let's reverse it. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, find your side angle, so bend that left elbow onto the left thigh, right arm over the ear, and come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side angle. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, one more. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side angle. And exhale, warrior two. You did awesome. Let's windmill down. Front foot steps back. Drop the knees. And I invite you into a child's pose. Knees can come wide or not. Just shift the hips back and melt the heart towards the mat. Take your third eye to the mat. Deep breath, or two or three. You're very welcome to bring the arms back and let them drape. And then if you drape the arms, reach them forward once again to lift yourself back up. Bring the knees hip distance apart back to your mat, center mat, and shift the hips to one side. All right. I'm just going to move around my mat today. All right, so extend the legs forward. And we're going to take that right foot into the left thigh. Inhale, arms up. Turn towards that thigh, that left thigh, and we're going to lengthen. And on the exhale, reach for wherever your hands go. So take a nice flexion of the foot. Hands can reach wherever they're reaching today, or to the sides of the foot. Take a nice deep breath to lengthen through the spine and lengthen through the crown. And then gently take your bow. And release. I'm going to bring my arms up. You don't have to. You can bring your arms down. And we're going to switch sides. All right. Lengthen. And exhale, reach wherever your hands want to go. I'm just going to adjust. And inhale. Lengthen through the crown. Exhale, take that hinge. One more breath. And gently release, come all the way up. And release both arms. Come back into Dandasana. Flex both feet. Inhale, arms up. And reach for your big toes, peace fingers here, or the outsides of the feet, or your shin. Press the calves into the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, and exhale, begin to hinge. And release. Arms come back up. Float the arms down. Come back to your Dandasana. Bend the knees. And we'll windshield wiper here. You can bring the arms behind you and gently move the hips back and forth. So we didn't do standing balancing, but we're going to do seated balancing. Let's step into boat pose. So we can reach the arms forward, and if you're not comfortable lifting the legs right away, you can begin to explore the balance between the front and the backs of the sits bones, or the hip bones, just so. And remember, there's always a counterbalance. So you're reaching forward, at the same time you're leaning back, finding that balance until you feel comfortable lifting the legs off the floor. Use your core, engage the core, press the heart forward, maybe lifting the legs. Shaking is good, a little higher. And then lower everything down. Come back down to the mat, however you're comfortable, and back to your flat back. We're going to come into bridge pose with arms over the head. So bend the knees, feet are flat, fingertips maybe graze. So as you're walking your heels back towards your buttocks, fingers are grazing. Mine graze a little more just because I've been doing this for so long. So you're fine here. Or maybe you feel just the tips of your fingers, and that's good too. I'm going to walk my feet a little further back. So these postures begin and evolve. So coming into bridge, we're going to lift, take a nice deep breath in and lift the hips up. Take the chest towards the chin. And do not move your head side to side. Press through the shins. Feel that length in the quads. Maybe you want to take a bind, if that's accessible, underneath the back. And breathe. Release the bind if you've taken it. Gently lower back down. And take a breath of grace. You're doing great. Nice deep breath in, second set. Inhale, lift the hips up. Chest to chin. Maybe take the bind. Tuck the shoulders if you've taken the bind. Reach those shins forward. Chest to chin. And release the bind if you've taken it, and lower all the way down slowly. And here, take the knees to the chest, a little rock side to side, or squeeze in to a little ball. Tuck the chin. Release hands on the knees and circles with the knees. Take it in the opposite direction.
And then extend the legs for a full body stretch. Arms over the head. Reach, reach, reach in opposite directions. And reach for that right knee to chest. Flex both feet, tuck the elbows. Nice and squeezed in, tuck the chin. So you have that nice long spine all the way from the face to the crown. And then you're going to open up that knee to the right side, extend that left arm out. From here, take that knee back to center and take your twist. Take that knee all the way to the left side, extend that right arm out, gazing over to the right side if that's comfortable for you. And gently come back to center, a little squeeze in, and full body stretch. Reach for that left knee to chest. Flex the feet, and guide that knee to the left side. Extend that right arm out. Squeeze back to center, and then guide that knee to the right side. Take your twist, extend that left arm out, and take the gaze to the left side if that's comfortable. Your body will thank you after this hour. And then gently come back to center. Find your full body stretch. And then bend the knees, feet flat on the mat, and gently release. And you can take your arms by your side or find cactus arms if that feels good, and sway side to side. Supine pigeon. We're going to take that right ankle to the left thigh, top of the left thigh. Arms are going to weave through the legs. So through that little triangle opening, that right arm's going to go through since we're doing the right side. And then we're going to interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh. Notice how my chin is already tilting up, so be aware of that cervical spine. And option here, you can take the leg up and pull, or bend the knee and pull. As you do that, that right elbow can gently assist the opening of the right side. Breathe through the stretch and breathe through the sensations. And breath of grace. One more gentle pull towards you and release. Switch sides. Left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Gently reach through the legs. Interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh. Flex both feet and begin to gently pull that right thigh towards you. And remember, I said micro movements matter. So if you begin to rock, for example, even a slight little rock will affect the stretch, where you will feel it differently. And maybe that's what you need. So if you want to rock, you can rock. You can take the leg up to the sky. Another micro movement is noticing that the flexion has released off the foot and then gently bringing it back. Draw the shoulders towards the mat, slight tuck of the chin, a gentle pull towards your body, and release. Windshield wiper side to side. Take a full body stretch. And then bring your arms by your side, and any final movements you would like to make. I think what I'll do here is maybe offer legs up to the sky, legs up the wall. So you can stay right here for a moment, and you can use a block to support the low back, just so, or a pillow or a bolster. So option to stay right here. Arms can be in any position that's comfortable for you. So I would like to also offer shoulder stand if that's in your practice. I think I have enough space. So in shoulder stand, you're going to lift the hips up and support the hips with your hands and extend the legs up to the sky. And then if you want to take it a little further, then you can begin to flex the hips and take the feet over your head and find your plow. Option here to take a bind. Wherever you are, breathe normally. If you've taken the bind, release the bind. Option here now to come out the way you came back in, or you went in. Find yourself back to legs up to the sky, legs up the wall. Both directions. Little twirls of the ankles if that feels good too. So any movement that feels good to you, and then find yourself back down on your mat in your final resting pose. You can take a full body stretch to ease into your final resting pose here. Arms by your side, and legs can also be any way that feels comfortable to you. If you want to butterfly your feet, your legs, you can take butterfly position there. You can take the legs wide and just let the feet flop. A tuck of the shoulders underneath the body is a nice way to explore the opening of the chest while you're on your back. Inviting you to close your eyes. Let the hips feel heavy. Arms heavy. Letting your jaw release. Eyes sink into their sockets. And remembering that this is the most important posture of all. This is where we repair, restore, and integrate the benefits of all the movement we just did, all the breath work that came into play into this past hour. Your nervous system is much calmer. Your mind is more at ease. You strengthened your immune system.
and released tension from the body. I'm gonna begin to come out of this position to cue you guys out of Shavasana, or you're welcome to stay in that position wherever you are if you're able to do so. And remember that it all begins with your wellness. Taking care of yourself extends and is a ripple effect of how you feel when you meet others, interact with others, your relationship with others. The ripple effect begins with you, the next person you meet, the next person that other person meets, and so forth. Your energy is that strong. Beginning to gently bring movement back into the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers. Maybe taking a moment to stretch your body out, arms over the head with a full body stretch. Bringing the knees into chest, rolling over to your right side when you're ready. And then gently pressing back up to seated when you're ready, joining me with the hands at the heart. To seal class today, join me in bringing our prayer hands up to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts to remember to live fully with love, joy, inner strength, and lots of grace. May our thoughts, words, and actions always be heart-led and divinely guided. Namaste.